Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Grumpy Guy Show. I'm Derek McAllister.
And I'm Ryan McAllister.
So we got two topics this week. Probably be a short show, for sure. So that's all right. You know, that's kind of the model that we're going with now, as far as how we're going to do things. You know, you don't like it, I'm sorry, but let us know. At least we're continuing. You know, that's something.
Yep.
All right. So the first topic has to do with the city of Syracuse. So, like most cities in the Northeast, there is not a lot of parking available in the city. Mm-hmm. Which is why so many businesses have moved out of the city. Because, you know, they don't have it. They're either compensating their employees to cover this cost, or they can't keep employees because people don't want to pay. You know, and I think we may have mentioned it once before. You know, the price for parking in the city of Syracuse is not cheap. Mm-hmm. And before the pandemic, I was paying to park in a garage because it was close, and well, the advantage of it was it wasn't a city-owned, it isn't an open lot, which, yes, that does get you inside, but the bigger advantage was the open lot that was right near work. The city would close down whenever they had some event going on. So, like, the Taste of Syracuse was this last weekend, where they have all kinds of vendors with small samples at a price of $2 each. Great idea. But the problem is, if I was in that open parking lot, I'd be screwed. They would not reimburse me for the days that they closed the parking lot. I'd just have to go and park someplace else and pay. So, before the pandemic, it was $60 a month to park there. The garage was $75 a month. That's a lot of money. I mean, I don't care how you look at it. That's a lot of money.
It is.
And I know that it's gone up. And why do I know it's gone up? Well, because the number of parking spaces available in the city of Syracuse has gone down. They've closed, I believe, 2 different garages because they were so old and outdated and they were falling apart. You know, so they've closed them. So why am I griping about this? Right?
Right.
Well, 2 hotels in the city of Syracuse have closed. One of them was the Marriott on the SU campus. Syracuse University said, we're going to make this into student housing. Okay, that's your choice. It's your hotel. Another one is closing and is going to be converted into apartments. Or at least that's the intent, is to convert it to apartments. You know, they okay. It's really sad because they call them affordable apartments. And I'm like, okay.
Affordable?
Yeah, you're probably talking. Yeah, you're probably talking like $1,200 a month. I don't know how that's affordable in Syracuse. You know?
Yeah, no, that does not sound affordable to me.
Especially since, what are you getting for that apartment? You're getting an old hotel room. Mm-hmm. How big is that? You know? But at any rate,
can't be huge.
Yeah. So the brilliance that there is between the city's mayor and the county executive is, let's take away a parking lot and put a hotel there.
Seriously?
Yes. That's their brilliant idea. And then this is, you know, when asked about the parking situation, this is what the county executive said. And this is not an exact quote, folks. Basically what he said was, we'll figure out parking some other way. Okay, so you're going to build this hotel where nobody's going to be able to park to get to the hotel because all the parking spaces are taken up by people who work in the city. And you're expecting this one single hotel to allow Syracuse University to attract the NCAA. Ain't gonna work.
Genius.
Because here's the thing. Syracuse University is the largest on-campus venue for basketball, football, either one of them, lacrosse. It's the largest on-campus venue in the NCAA. The NCAA would love to host the Final Four here, but there has never been enough hotel space. And what do? Well, we got 2 hotels closing. So now the NCAA is saying there's not even enough hotel space for the regional championship in the Final Four. So now, Syracuse University has screwed themselves over by deciding that they're going to convert a hotel into student housing. That's one part of it. But the other part is, the county, they're I don't know what the hell they're thinking. They're just freaking dense. I mean, you take away a parking lot so that you can try and attract the NCAA with a tiny hotel. This isn't, we're not talking a hotel that's going to have 1,000 rooms. We're talking a hotel that's probably going to have a couple hundred rooms at the most. That's not enough. To attract the NCAA, even if you're talking the regional finals, to attract the NCAA, you've got to have like 10,000 hotel rooms available. Because you're going to have all of these people coming from out of town, especially for, a venue like the Dome, where for a basketball game you can fit 35,000 people in there easily. If you decide, hey, you know what, we're gonna really sell the nosebleed ones off, you can fit 50,000 people in there. Not only would the campus love it, but the NCAA would love it as well. Because then they're not paying some of these other big, these big arenas that are designed for the NBA. But whatever. So I just laugh. Take away the park, take away 2 hotels. Well, we'll solve that by creating 1 hotel. Okay, that's just freaking brilliant.
Genius. Now, where's everybody going to park?
Yeah. So it's, I don't know. I don't get it, But the Onondaga County executive's got his own little agenda, and I guarantee the aquarium, and I know we talked about that at one point, was the $85 million aquarium that he insisted get built. I can almost put money on it. The reason that he was pushing so hard for that, and he couldn't say why, was because of Micron. I'm going to guess that Micron said there's not enough there for us to say, yes, we'll move there. And part of the deal was, we're going to move there. Okay, great. Then, we want something, and an aquarium was
something.
Yeah, it was something. We have a zoo, but it's not that big a zoo. It is very well known for its elephant program, but beyond that, there's nothing else really. So I think that's why he pushed for that. But where are we going to put people? There's not enough housing in the area to begin with. But beyond not having enough housing, there's not enough hotel spaces. But hey, we got Micron. Of course, that whole deal isn't fully sealed yet. They could still back out of it.
Right.
But we'll see what happens. All right. So our second topic. Just picked this one up today. And the title of it is Sponsors Where? So everybody's used to, NASCAR with their sponsorships and their logos all over everything.
Right.
And that's because that's individual teams. That's, that's how the team makes their money.
Yep. Can't rely on prize money alone.
Well,
At least not these days.
So the prize money, that helps pay for stuff, but it's not nearly enough to pay for all
That's
of
what
the
I'm
engineers
saying.
and all of the mechanics and the entire
That's what
team.
I'm saying.
Yeah,
It's not enough.
yeah, and it never
Especially
really
for the
has been.
smaller teams that barely ever make any money off of races to begin with.
Well, the whole thing is, you look at other sports, and a team has their own facility, meaning they have a place where they can make money.
Right.
NFL, they all have stadiums. NBA, they all have stadiums.
Stadiums that cost way too much.
Yeah, they cost taxpayers a ton. I get that. And I don't agree with it. The taxpayers should not pay anything for it because, plain and simple, taxpayers are not making anything off of it. But, we've talked about that. But, in the case of NASCAR, these teams don't have, they don't have a track where you go and you race, it's that team's home track. They don't do that.
Yeah, they're all in the same area, so they would all be doing it at the same track.
Well, I mean, if that were the case, then tracks would be spread out more. And teams would be spread out more. However, that's not the case.
However, they're all in the Charlotte area.
Yeah, but,
And on top of that, NASCAR has a huge limit on testing.
Yeah, but
teams themselves can't go out and test. NASCAR has to organize the test.
Yeah, but you're getting outside of the point of what I'm talking about here. So, like this let's look at the Knicks. Okay, the Knicks have a stadium where they play, and they make money off of ticket sales.
Right.
Okay. 49ers. They have a stadium where they sell tickets and they make money off of those ticket sales. NASCAR doesn't have that. I mean, NASCAR itself does, but the NASCAR teams don't have that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, beyond all the testing and all that other crap you were talking about, the team does not own a track where everybody comes and races a couple of times a season.
Except for arguably Penske, who owns Indianapolis.
Yeah, but
although that's a completely separate division of his company from his racing team.
Yeah, so it's not going to be contributing to the racing team.
Mm-hmm.
So, I understand NASCAR with the logos and all the sponsorships.
Yeah.
So what I saw today, we had a team building thing at work where we went to watch the local baseball team, the Syracuse Mets.
Yep. Lucky.
Yeah, well, whatever. It wasn't so lucky because it was Kids Day or some crap like that. There were like 10 different schools there. And it was it was like middle school kids, so all screamy girls and
the worst.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So at any rate, couldn't figure out what was on the team's jerseys, right? I'm looking and looking, and then all of a sudden they say what it is. So I'm like,
right,
you got to be kidding me. So it's something oat milkers, and I'm like, what? Mm-hmm. It's on every player's uniform. It takes up the entire front, the entire chest section of their uniform. And I'm like, okay, what the hell is that? And then they say what it is, and it's freaking company. They've got sponsorship on this. Mm-hmm. I'm like, what the hell? And then I look at the visiting team, and they've got Bacon USA, another sponsor. I'm like, what?
It's minor league too, so that makes it even weirder.
Yeah,
I think.
I'm just like, you got to be kidding me. Why?
Why
are we paying? I mean,
strange than if you see it in the major leagues.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I didn't pay for the ticket, but the company did.
Right.
The tickets for those kids in the stands were not free.
Mm-hmm.
They were free to the kids, yes, but somebody paid for them.
Yep.
You know, with the kids there, the stands were full. And yet they feel the need to have sponsors?
Apparently.
It's getting ridiculous. You know, they want to make so much money. And the worst part is the stadium that they played in, the damn taxpayers paid for. You know, that the Syracuse Chiefs the Syracuse Mets did not.
That's a throwback.
Yeah. They did not take a dime out of their pocket to build that stadium.
Nope.
Yet they completely and totally control the use of that stadium. It has absolutely nothing to do with, and you know, we're going off on something we went off on before. You know, but seriously, they control it. They make all the money off of ticket sales, off of vending sales, and this is what kills me. So one of the girls was cold, so she went down to buy a sweatshirt, right?
Right.
She saw one she liked. She looked at it. She said, $70? Holy crap. So she starts looking at all the rest of them. The cheapest one she could find was $65. And she looked at the vendor. She said, don't you have any that are like the actual New York Mets? No. She was like, okay, well, I'm cold, so I guess I'm stuck. And I'm just, I was like, you got to be kidding me. $65.
Is too freaking expensive.
Yeah. So they're making all of the money off of this stuff. And yet they feel they have to have sponsors. And it's not like, you know, the vending stuff, you know, the vendors are selling cheap things. You go there, you know, you go and you buy like a 3-pound bag of Hoffman hot dogs. Really good brand of hot dog for anybody who's outside of Syracuse. Very good brand of hot dog. You buy a bag, it's like a 2.5-pound bag, you know, in there, there's 5 hot dogs per pound or something like that. So you get a 2.5-pound bag, so what's that, like 12, 13, you know, whatever. You buy that for $13. These vendors are selling these hot dogs for like $8 a piece. All because you can't bring food into it. You want to buy a water when you go to one of these parks? Yeah, you're talking $5 for a bottle of water. It's just insane. They're making so much money off of this stuff. And now they feel, oh, well, hey, we got to put sponsors on the jerseys. Come on. It's just really, really pathetic. Yeah, well. All right, folks. That was our 2 topics. So I'm sure you've heard that music starting up.
And that means good night.
We'll see ya.